Nigeria's electoral body, INEC, has extended the deadline for the collection of permanent voters' cards. Eligible voters have until the 29th of January to pick up their PVC collections, actually have started at the ward level and have been extended by a week from the 16th of January to the 22nd of January. The commission says it is encouraged by the turnout of registered voters and the surge of the number of collected PVCs across the country. It says as many as 100,000 PVCs have been collected in the last 5 days in some states since the devolution to the ward level last week. And joining us now to discuss this further is the Executive Director of Yaga Africa, Sam Itodo. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. And of course, welcome to Newsday.
Thanks, it's great to have you. Good afternoon.
Well, we've heard that the PVC collection have been extended, and this would go a long ways towards individuals who have been upset in the last couple of days and coming to complain about being disenfranchised. What is your thoughts on the extension of this deadline?
Well, I think the extension of the deadline is a welcome development. It shows that INEC has been responsive to the demands of citizens because, quite frankly, there wouldn't have been any way INEC would have ended the collection on Sunday, which is 15th, the earlier scheduled date for ending the ward level collection, for two reasons. One, the level of turnout of people at the ward level was quite significant, that we were all excited to see that citizens were insisting they wanted their PVCs. And so that large turnout was one reason, because that's taking the PVC collection closer to the people. The second was the uncollected PVCs that were still in high numbers. Because if INEC had ended the ward level collection on Sunday and then concentrated the ward level at the local government office, the commission would have run into huge logistical issues and crowd. Because look at the crowds that have showed up at the ward level. Even at the ward level, you still have issues with crowd management. So just imagine if they had reverted to the local government areas next week. So it's a welcome development. We celebrate it. And we hope that within the next 1 week, Nigerians will show up to collect their PVCs. But more importantly, INEC will make the process more seamless so that within this 1 week, we would record about 90% collection rate. Because when it goes back to the local government areas, it poses a lot of challenge and difficulties, both for INEC and even for the voter.
Well, INEC also says that the commission is investigating allegations of extortion against some of its officials. They're saying that those found culpable would be sanctioned. But are you optimistic that indeed erring officials will be found, prosecuted, and sanctioned? I'm sure you'll recall that during the registration exercise, we also heard of people being discriminated against. So how do we stop this so that it doesn't affect the elections?
I think INEC has not done a fair job in updating the public and communicating actions, disciplinary actions it has taken against its staff that have been alleged to be involved in either dereliction of duty or extortion or in corrupt practices. I note that a few months ago, INEC admitted that a number of its staff were involved in the padding of the voters' register. And INEC was investigating that particular case. We don't know if disciplinary actions have been taken, but I know for a fact that INEC is taking action. But it needs to communicate with the public the outcome of its investigation, as well as sanctions that it has imposed on those staff. If the commission does not communicate, people would lose confidence on INEC's ability to sanction its staff. It's one thing to investigate, it's another to take action. And what the public wants to see is that these individuals, its staff who have been involved in extortion, are actually brought to book. And if the commission takes action and it doesn't communicate, then it raises questions about INEC transparency. But I'm aware, fully aware that INEC is taking action, but it needs to communicate more with the public. And I think the issue about extortion, whether it exists is not the question. Because I have seen extortion of citizens happen right in my presence, in just observing the PVC collection. In fact, just last week, in a couple of collection centers that we went to, in fact, people saw this and they drew my attention to it in those centers. So it does exist, and I'm glad to hear INEC is taking action. And we hope that some of these people who have been fingered will be brought to book to serve as a deterrence to others, but also encourage the public to report more of these incidents as they occur, believing that INEC will take action.
Well, Sam Itodo, brief but important interview here. Thank you always for joining us on Newsday, and thanks for this brief conversation.